This podcast, along with other fine shows, is proud to be a part of the one and only Throwback Network. Please visit at throwbacknetwork.net. Also, this episode stars IC Robots, courtesy of the Toys R Us report, available at icrobots.com. And now, enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Urbanator, and what you are about to hear is part of a collection of audio journals that I've been recording from 1980, and I plan to definitely go to 1989. That is 10 years of recording. Today is Friday, September 30th, 1982, and I plan to tell you what has happened in the past month with a little help from my good friend, Mr. IC Robots, Brian Roboticus.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. And thank you so much for joining me, too. I know that you do a journal as well.
I do.
Out here in the 80s, and I know that you've been putting out cassettes in your local neighborhood.
As a matter of fact, I have. It's weird that we're both doing that from so far apart.
And you're also big in the robot industry because you've built awesome robots out of what we have today, which is Lincoln Logs and Legos. I mean, it's amazing.
It's amazing that they turned out as well as they did. The big breakthrough in that was getting the tubes, from a dryer tube, the exhaust pipes.
Yeah.
As the arms. Once we got the arms going, things really were, uphill from there. Yeah.
And what's the name of your robot? Your main robot?
Well, my main robot accomplice is a dude who goes by the name of Iceberg 13. He's actually the 13th attempt at an Iceberg robot. It took a while, but I feel like we're really rolling now.
I like him. He's got a great sense of humor. He raps.
He does. And what's weird is I didn't program that into him. He just kind of came up with that himself. As far as I know, he is gaining his own intelligence every day. It's the weirdest thing. I really feel like I might be onto something.
Genius, sheer genius. But we're going to cover the news, technology, music, and movies. And we have a little show and tell for you as well. So we have a lot to discuss in 30 minutes or more. So please sit back and enjoy the ride.
Welcome to Zerbinator's 8289 podcast. This is a recorded journal dedicated to the history of the 80s. All music used in the 8289 podcast was written and performed by Manolus and can be found at www.iammanolus.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
8289.
please take your seats.
Are you ready?
We hope you enjoy the show.
8289.
The show is about to begin. Are you really ready?
So what's been going on, man? This has been one heck of a long summer. It's finally over.
I am glad about that. It's been a hot one over here. And glad to see the seasons change.
Yeah, me too. It's finally getting nice and pretty. The leaves are just beginning to change. But what did you do? What you been up to?
Well, over at our mall, we recently got a new mall. We had one, it was like an outdoor shopping center, but we recently got the full-on indoor mall like I hear a lot of you folks in bigger cities have. And in the mall is an arcade. I don't know if this is like a national thing. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's a chain called Aladdin's Castle. It's new to me.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. They have sort of like a Middle Eastern motif. The front has like a really nice awning with it looks like a pharaoh's tomb sort of. It's really fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. But I was there with a friend of mine, and we were getting ready to play, like a sit-down game. I think it was pole position. And as I went to sit down, there was a wallet sitting there. And, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. So I pick it up, and I open it up, and there was, I'm not even kidding. There's $400 or $500 in there. And
did you do the right thing?
I did, in fact, do the right thing. I gave it to the attendant, and he told me, he said, why don't you wait around?
He disappeared, right?
No, he's like, well, why don't you wait around? At this point, the thought of a reward is really dancing around in my head, and I was there for, to me, it seemed an hour, maybe 2 hours, but I really needed to see how this would turn out, and I think part of me was thinking, maybe if he doesn't come back, they'll give me the wallet. But at any rate, he did show up.
Awesome.
And I saw him talk to the attendant, and the attendant pointed over to me, and he's like, he's like, there's the kid who found your wallet. So the guy comes up to me, and I'm thinking he's going to give me one of these $100 bills out of his wallet. But all he did, he rubbed my head, and he was like, thanks a lot, kid. And much to my surprise, he offered me a cigarette. He had a pack of cigarettes. People were smoking cigarettes in the arcade, and he's like, "Do you want to smoke?" And no.
If you roll the tobacco in one of them $100 bills.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my story for this week's story of major disappointment.
Major disappointment. Well, man, mine is feeble compared to that. But I've got my plastic General Lee, which you can see right now looks like. Well, I put it in this box. Look at this. This is what it looks like now.
That is something.
Well, the problem is that I thought it would be cool to make it go faster than me pushing it. It's my plastic General Lee. Yeah, and it came with both Bo and Luke, and you could sit them in the front. As you can tell, it wasn't in the proper shape of the Dodge Charger, the General Lee that you're used to on TV, but it was a nice toy and it was really fast. So I thought I made it go faster by using leftover fireworks from the 4th of July. So I duct taped, as a matter of fact, because at one time it was much bigger than this. And I duct taped fountains to it and started at the top of my big hill, 17th and Jefferson, and it shot down and was doing really great, and then I couldn't see anything except orange smoke, and so I ran down to check it out, and all that was left is this. That's it.
That's that. I wouldn't even be able, except for the rebel flag. I wouldn't be able to tell that was a General Lee.
It's so funny that during the fire, the only thing that survived was that rebel flag. I don't know if that's a sign.
How are the figures? Did they make it out?
I couldn't find them. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they jumped out. I thought I saw 2 dots running off to the side. So sadly, I murdered my General Lee, and I'm sure that both the action figures are living great lives in somebody's Barbie's house right now.
Where did you get that? Did you go to Toys R Us? Maybe KB? Did you get it yourself, or was it?
Showed up Christmas morning.
Yeah,
and I've only had it for, almost 9 months.
And that's Amigo, I think?
I think Amigo made it. Yeah, it was made by either Amigo or it was a Kenner version. I'm not sure, because it's really not the shape of a Dodge Charger the way you would expect it to be.
No.
I had a really good Dodge Charger, a smash-up derby car.
Oh, really?
Where if you took the car and then you hit it with another car, say Boss Hogg's car, the door would flip up and it had a dent in it. Then you had to reset it by clicking it back down again.
That's interesting. I haven't seen that toy. That can't be a new one. I wonder.
Yeah, but it came out, I think, about a year ago. And, of course, I ruined that by taking a hammer to it.
I'll have to. Yeah.
It doesn't work after you do things like that. I had a lot of issues.
It does sound that way.
In this era.
I didn't see you for that type.
Well,
I'm very careful with my toys. I keep the boxes. I put them back in the boxes. They have to be kept in nice condition.
I understand.
Yeah.
Did I ever show you my burnt Star Wars collection?
You have a whole collection burnt?
Yeah, this is them. Look at that. My goal is to mix them all together into one big patty and then make Occupucks out of it.
That's good work. How do you do that? I've seen people use, like a hairspray can and a lighter. Do you do that?
That's exactly what I did.
I've seen other people use lighter fluid on top of it.
Yeah. And gasoline comes in handy no matter what you're trying to do. Yeah.
I've never been able to get my hands on gasoline. The closest I've come is lighter fluid from when my dad uses his Zippo to light cigars.
Yeah. Oh, we shouldn't give out any ideas, though. These journals do get heard by other children. Heard? Heard is not a word.
I think it's heard.
I think so, too.
It could be sort of a regional dialect, maybe heard.
Well, heard is what you do with your sheep. When you get them all together, you heard them. All right. Well, let's go on to the news.
And now we will talk about current events.
On September 21st, the National Football League Players Association called a strike, the first in-season work stoppage in the National Football League's 63-year history.
Wow.
The strike lasted for 57 days and reduced the regular season from 16 games down to 9, and it also forced an expanded 16-team playoff tournament.
I can't imagine something like this becoming a habit. Can you?
I cannot. I mean, these guys make like $10,000, $15,000 per season. I don't know how they could ever imagine a world where they would make more than that. I mean,
No, they're lucky.
I myself would do it for free, just, to be in the NFL, to get to be on the field, on such a national, just a national scene like that. It's amazing that they would think that they deserve anything more than, the double-digit salaries they get.
I know. And it's, and the teachers hardly make a dime, and these guys are going crazy.
Well,
hurting
teachers
themselves. And
don't,
teachers don't
have head-to-head collisions.
That's my point. There's no
in
padding
theory,
in teaching,
yeah.
and I just can't imagine why they would not make more. But that's me. So,
I have heard teachers complain about the salary, but I don't know how much more they deserve. My experiences as so far
yeah,
with teachers have not been great. It seems like I'm always getting slapped on the knuckles or sat in the corner. And
same.
if it were up to me, there would just be no teachers, and we would learn from just the school of life. But
The way you're beaten in school, I think the students should be wearing pads and helmets
and we should also get double-digit salaries
just for going.
just for the amount of work. It's not easy to go on recess. It's not easy to eat in the cafeteria. There's bullies. There's just all sorts of things going on. It's not
fair.
not fair in the least.
On September 25th in Israel, 400,000 marchers demand the resignation of Prime Minister Menachem Begin.
I think it's Menachem Begin. I know this because, sometimes when the girls at my school are doing, the double Dutch jump rope, they'll be like, Menachem Begin. It's kind of a popular
Cool. I
thing
never
going
thought
around
about that. I always thought the Menachem Begin was something you ordered at a breakfast shop. And it came in either onion, garlic, or multigrain. But apparently it's a human being. So they're trying to get him to resign.
Tell me more about that multigrain. What is
Multigrain?
There's more than one grain besides wheat?
Yeah, there's two of them. Wheat and hemp.
I think barley.
Barley.
Might be one, but I'm not. What is hemp? I haven't.
Hemp is one of the Three Stooges. Tell me what happened on September 26th.
On September 26th, thermals take Australian parachutist Rich Collins up to 2,800 meters. That's 9,200 feet during a jump.
Wow.
He almost blacks out due to his lack of oxygen. He released his main parachute to fall lower, and he landed by reserve parachute.
Can you believe it?
I saw this on Real People last week. I could not believe the speed in which this guy was coming down. It was insane.
I saw the same episode.
I don't know how he didn't break his legs. He hit the ground with it was terrible. And considering he was only wearing a football helmet and shoulder pads for protection,
It's all in how you flap your arms on the way down.
On the way down, you kind of push against the earth.
You push against the air, the earth's gravitational pull. What you do is reverse it by flapping your arms as fast as you can. I did not see it on Real People. I saw it, and that's incredible. Davidson.
I do sometimes get the two mixed up, but I do think it was Real People. And from what I understand, initially he was over New York, but by the time he came down, the earth had spun enough that he was near Ohio. It was quite a phenomenon. Phenomenon.
September 29th and October 1st.
All the way through October 1st.
Yeah, that's true. The Chicago Tylenol murders occur when 7 people in Chicago area die after ingesting them capsules laced with potassium cyanide. Now they're getting their potassium.
I think it's the cyanide that is the problem. Yeah. This is interesting that you brought this up. This is around the area that I'm in right now, and everybody is afraid of Tylenol, and there's like local jokesters. The way that you can tell the bottle is poison is because they break that little seal on the top, and there are jokesters going around who will just punch the seal out of every bottle on the shelf. So
that's
people. It's causing kind of, I don't want to say a frenzy, but people are nervous. There's a lot of people with headaches right now. They don't
know what to do. And stay away from the bananas with pills sticking out of them.
But as I understand it, you do want to stay away from Tylenol, but Bufferin is still fine. It's still an acceptable alternative if you do.
Now, what about Nuprin?
I don't know about Nuprin, but I do know that you can use Monsel headache powder if you are so inclined.
And now we will talk about technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for technology. Take it away, my buddy Brian.
So on September 19th, the first, I don't know how you say this, emoticons?
I think it's pronounced, and I'm not sure, emote icons.
Emote icons. That makes sense, but they were posted by Scott Fallman. Here's an example. Now, you can't see this because this is all audio, but what he's doing here is he's taking two dots, making an eye, and a dash, and then the parentheses sign to, it almost appears like a smiley face.
I can picture it, yeah.
This is similar to what I have seen people do on a calendar, where I believe you use an 8, 2 zeros, and then an 8 on the other side.
Yeah.
To make it spell out that's exactly the word. I don't know if you would call that an emoticon, but
it does give me a range of emotions.
Yes, I feel the same way.
I'm not conning anybody with that. So definitely boobs.
This is interesting, though. I like how with like 3 keystrokes, you can convey how happy you are. I could see this catching on if there was ever some way, for people to send words back and forth to each other. I wouldn't use this in a letter.
Well, that's just it. You type each other letters back and forth. Take a lot of paper. But,
yeah.
And you could do all kinds of things. I mean, maybe the dots with a dash and a 0 would mean, wow.
If there was just some way quicker, I could see this being useful if, you're talking to like a chatty Cathy and they're sending you messages and you want to sign off politely. I could see maybe putting this little smiley face and then just not responding from that point. But
I love old CC, chatty Cathy. She does yap quite a bit.
I've never met anybody named Cathy. I've met a lot of chatty people, but no
Cathys?
I've never known a Cathy. I guess Cathy is Catherine. I have known a few Catherines.
September 9th, George Brownlee and colleagues at the University of Oxford published the results for cloning a human clotting factor. Number
What is that?
9. Well, let me explain.
Try to.
Say you got a blood clot.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
A blood clot is something like where inside of one of your blood veins, basically you get something clots up, and then you end up with like a nugget blocking your bloodway.
Like when you have a booger.
It's like a booger in your blood veins. Exactly. And it basically stops the flow of blood. Now, what this guy did.
Well, what happens when that stops?
Well, then basically you can end up having like a aneurysm, or you can have a heart attack. Or
What is that?
It's basically an aneurysm is a bunch of letters that form a word that defines something that could happen when you have a blood clot. But it takes place in your brain, and it's basically a light switch that just goes, we're done. And then
your brain explodes.
Your brain blows. And then the heart attack is when your heart basically turns on you.
And it explodes as well.
Yeah. And it's also a great song by Olivia Newton-John. But
I have never understood how, after somebody has a heart attack, how they put the heart back together. I would think that there would just be pieces
everywhere.
But I've seen doctor shows, Trapper John MD and stuff, and these guys, they can perform miracles.
Yeah, you have to be a very, very good knitter, and then also duct tape comes in handy if you don't know how to sew.
I think that they do make a medical version of duct tape. I don't know what it's called, but I don't think that they use the same silver tape that we use.
No. They use something, and they never use the HVAC tape because that's just too shiny.
Yeah.
And it just causes problems.
I could see that.
But what this guy Brownlee did is that he cloned and expressed the human clotting factor, providing a recombinant source of this protein for hemophilia B patients who previously relied on hazardous blood-derived products.
So he invented new blood. Are they going to take the hemophiliac's blood out and replace it with this new blood? Is that where we're going with this?
Basically, yes.
All the blood?
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's also known as the Christmas factor because there's a gentleman named, young boy actually, Stephen Christmas, who was found to be lacking this exact factor, leading to hemophilia. I really thought the hemophilia was some kind of perverted way to enjoy hemos.
I thought that it was something with Russian royalty. I thought that if you were one, that was a way to tell that you were somehow related to them, but I don't know that for sure.
It's better than emophilia, which is the fear of a bad comic.
Oh, Emo Phillips. You know, I've seen that guy once. I didn't understand what he was doing. I'm watching, and it seemed as if he was having, some kind of issues, and I didn't understand what he was going through, but I guess
It's just a bad haircut, bowl haircut, and bad joke.
And now we will talk about music.
Hey, you want to do some music?
Are we at music?
We're at music, brother.
On September 3rd to the 5th, US Festival is held over Labor Day weekend near Devore, California. The Police, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Fleetwood Mac, Grateful Dead, the Talking Heads, and the B-52s are among the many performers. I like a few of those bands. I love the Police. I love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Not so much the Grateful Dead. I don't understand the Talking Heads. I don't know what that guy is doing with that oversized suit.
It's same as it ever was.
And the B-52s, I don't get that either. Are they supposed to be from, like with the hairdos? Are they like the 50s?
I think they're from the 52s, actually. They're supposed to be bombers. I can tell you what, he's got a Chrysler, and it is as big as a whale. And from what I understand, it could set sail.
Like that's a real thing?
Apparently.
I've seen those kind of cars that can go in the water. Mostly, they have a picture of one in the Guinness Book of Records, it's like a car with a boat bottom, and it can.
Yeah.
Go. I wonder if it's like that. But
I think it is. And
I don't think they were made by Chrysler, though. I don't know.
Well, his seat's about 20, and you have to bring your jukebox money, or it's just no good.
So that's more like a bus.
Yeah.
I think. That's really weird. I don't understand any of that.
I don't either, but... Did you know on September 7th, the musical Cats opened on Broadway? And
what is that?
It's a bunch of girls dressed up, and guys apparently too, dressed up as cats.
What do they do? Like, I have a cat.
Dance around, and they sing a lot of cool songs. It's an Andrew Lloyd Webber jaunt.
Who is that?
He's a guy who does a lot of plays. He's pretty popular. But I'll tell you what's really cool is that my favorite song that I've heard from this thing is Memories.
Memories.
Memory.
Memories.
It sounds a little bit like it was just so pretty.
That was good. That sounds like my cat when she's on the back fence at night howling.
Yeah, it's such a cool song.
I wonder what cats remember. My cat, she seems like she barely remembers me. I don't know.
Every morning is a new, hey!
Every morning it's like we're starting over again.
That's great.
On September 22nd, The Who begin their only formally announced farewell tour in Washington, D.C. So they're really leaving. I can't believe it. I wonder what they're going to do with themselves outside of, touring and being a band. It seems like...
They should I guess they're just going to retire.
I mean, they're not even... How old are they now? Like in their 30s?
30s or 40s-ish. But the thing is Pete Townshend's eardrums are like two blown-out car speakers. So he can't hear anything. It's just... You talk to him and he's like... That's all he hears.
Well, that's their whole thing, right? They're supposed to be like the loudest band in the history of bands.
Definitely were and are. And then Van Halen challenged them with their concert. I think they put on a loud concert, and Kiss did too. Kiss, I think, holds the record. But I
know Kiss, but what is that other band that you just said?
Van Halen?
Yeah, who is that?
It's there's the drummer and the guitarist are brothers, and they have this bassist guy, Michael Anthony.
Are they the Van Halens?
They are the Van Halens, but they just call the band Van Halen
It's not the Van Halens?
Not the Van Halens, because
Like
David...
the Van Halen's family band? It's not like that?
No, not at all. And David Lee Roth is the lead singer. And they didn't want to call it the Roth and the Halens or anything like that, or the Rothians.
That would be a better name, I think. They need to get a better idea.
I like the name Roth. They should have called it Roth.
That would be good. Or the DLRs, maybe? Like David Lee Roth?
This would be great.
Somebody should, I cannot see a big future for a band with a name that doesn't make sense like that. I don't know.
Any van in the beginning of the name, you would think it either has to do with sword fighting or a big, huge vehicle that you would get into.
Yeah, I thought Halen was some kind of a verb that I didn't know. Like they did something with a van. Like they
inhaled it.
They Halened a van, but I didn't know what Halening was. But there's a lot of words I'm not really familiar with.
Yeah, me neither. Mm-hmm. On October 1st, the first compact discs will appear in music stores in Japan. I don't know why not here, because we know
all the cool things do go to Japan first. I am not familiar with this either. You are so up on the current events. I don't know where you find out about all this stuff.
Well, it's
Us Magazine, People Magazine.
No,
maybe?
I get Washington Post, New York Times, and there is a tech savvy area in there. Also, Wall Street Journal is good for these types of things. I also have friends in all over the country, actually. Well, now it's time for the U.S. Top 10 singles for the past month. Don't forget, my friend, you have to sing them. And you can begin. I cannot wait to hear you sing.
Number 10.
That would be fun. So let's see. At number 10, we got Hurt So Good by John Cougar. And that is on Riva Records, I think. I'm not familiar with that label.
I'm not sure if it's Riva or Riva or Riva, but we can just say R-I-V-A.
It could be Riva, like you're like a southern guy. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe that's his label, because he does kind of have that country thing.
He's living on the river.
He's living on the river, rolling on the river, wherever that goes.
Sing it, my buddy.
Didn't I already?
No, you just said Hurt So Good.
I don't know the lyrics. Hurt so good. Come on.
That's perfect.
Something of that sort.
That's good. You sang. Thank you so much. Well,
I sing all the time. I have a terrible voice, but I like to sing, so I don't know.
No, you do pretty well.
It's just fun to sing. I don't care.
You're in key, and that's a plus.
Number 9.
Well, number 9 is I Keep Forgetting. And I don't mean that I keep forgetting. It's the name of the song. Every Time You're Near by Michael McDonald.
Oh, I like him. He's from the Doobie Brothers. That guy is a talented vocalist.
He really is. And his brother is going to be a great comedian. And he talks a little like this. He's got what he does is he tells jokes. All right. Well, Warner Brothers put this album out.
I've always wondered about Michael McDonald, how at his young age he already has white hair and a beard. It's always been...
I think he wanted to be albino, but he wasn't sure.
Well, he couldn't take it all the way.
No, but here he is. I can't forget I'm not happy anymore. I can't forget I'll never be the same again.
That was almost like he's here in the room right now.
So clear. I can't forget it, baby. Thank you.
Number 8.
Let's see. At number 8, we have Somebody's Baby by Jackson Browne, and that's off Asylum record. I'm not familiar with this song at all, honestly, but I would imagine it's like, somebody's baby, but you're not my baby. I have no idea.
Oh, that was great.
What is it? Is that what it actually
that's
sounds
exactly how it goes.
Because you're somebody's baby. You're not mine. You're somebody's.
And
But I think he wants to make you his.
he wants to claim the baby.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if it's a baby like a baby or a baby like a gal.
Or if the girl was named baby like a babe.
Could be.
Coming in at number 7.
Number 7.
Who Can It Be Now?
Oh, I love this song.
And yeah, that's the name of the song. I'm not saying Who Can It Be. I'm saying Who Can It Be Now by Men at Work, Columbia Records. Who can it be now? Somebody's knocking at my door. Stay away. Don't gonna hear no more. I love that song.
Was somebody really at your door there? You can get that if you want.
Yeah, hold on.
I can just kind of...
No, there's no.
I can kind of wing it here, so let's see.
Number 6.
And then number 6, we have Eye in the Sky by the Alan Parsons Project. This is another one I don't know, but if I were to imagine it, I would see it like the eye in the sky. It's watching me. It is looking down, doing what it can see. Maybe.
Wow.
Is it something like that?
I think that's exactly it. And it also sounds like you were selling cheese on TV.
I was trying to. That's actually something that I aspire to.
Dairy products.
I wasn't sure. How did you know that?
I
think it's about satellites.
could be.
I think that it's kind of
Tinfoil hats and all that.
That's what I see when I hear this song, and I don't know what the Alan Parsons Project is. It could be some sort of anti-satellite beam. I'm not sure.
Most possibly.
Number 5.
Number 5. You should hear how she talks about you. Melissa Manchester. Arista Records. You should hear how she talks about you. You should put on clothes. Wait, that's not the lyrics.
It was close, I think.
But yeah, I love that song. That's one of my favorites. The snare, it sounds like a trash can lid. I love that sound. It sounds just like...
Maybe it is a trash can lid. Some of the artists getting experimental nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 4.
And then at number 4, this one I do actually know. It is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. This one is from Rocky, which I have recently seen. Fantastic movie. And that was written by the Scotty brothers? The Scotty brothers?
I think it's the same... Scotty, the ones that make the toilet paper.
They are the same ones, or maybe the same ones who are on, what's that show called? Star Trek.
Oh,
and that one goes sort of like, Eye of the tiger stalks his prey in the night, rising up with the challenge of our rivals. He is the last known survivor. With the eye of the tiger.
That was beautiful. The high note was perfect.
That is one of, seriously, like 5 songs that I know all the lyrics to, and I have no idea. I have no idea why, but probably just from Rocky. But
that's
one of the few that I know.
Beautiful.
Number 3.
Well, coming in at number 3, Hard to Say I'm Sorry, Chicago Full Moon Records.
Oh, I love this one.
It's really good. Hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to know. Hold me down. I really want to say I'm sorry. I can't hit the notes today.
That was just like he was in the room with me.
I know. Thank you. I did a little bend. I held my ear trying to get that forte.
Held your ear.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I think.
And then at number 2,
breathing apparatus.
Number 2.
And then at number 2, we have Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band.
Nothing to do with the beer.
It's always so interesting when you manage to get the whole band to go along with your name being the name of the band. I think you should just put your egos aside and just let's go with the Steve Miller Band. That's obviously the
what
best,
about the drummer?
Best
Maybe
name of all the time.
The drummer could be heartbroken.
He could be. Well, do we know? Steve Miller could be the drummer. I don't...
No. The drummer's name was Fliegen Fergenstein, and it could have been the Fliegen Fergenstein Band.
The Fliegans or the Fergensteins?
There was actually a guitarist named Menachem Begin.
I believe you have a friend named Fergenstein. Isn't that his name? He's that the kid with all the bootleg Atari games?
Yep, Fergenstein.
That is weird.
Yeah, it's really cool, though.
Okay, so that song was called Abracadabra, and that one goes like, Abracadabra, I'm gonna reach out and grab you.
Wait a minute, you're gonna what? Oh, that was the lyrics. I'm so
That's
sorry.
not what I'm gonna do. That's
God,
what
scared the crap out of me.
Fliegen Fergenstein is gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Number 1.
Well, coming in at number 1, John Cougar again. Got the top and the bottom of this list.
He is ruling the charts.
He's on the Riva Records. Down by the creek. He's got Jack and Diane.
Who are they?
Well, they're 2 people. It's a little ditty about Jack and Diane, actually. But it goes like this.
All right.
Jing, ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding. A little ditty about Jack and Diane. 2 American kids doing best they can. Jackie wants to be a football star, huh? Diane's up, Jackie's gone. And they're saying like, oh yeah, life goes on.
I do know this song.
It's a great song, and my favorite is the drum solo where it goes. Oh, let it rock, and let it roll. Let the bottom down, come on,
man.
sing my song.
That is quite a song.
It's a good day to have the neighbors take off today. Well, now it's time to go down our favorite albums released in the past month of September. Go ahead, my brother. Tell me what you did purchase.
Well, I've been down at the record store a lot lately because I'm always trying to find something new, something different. And
Waxy Maxie's or Tower? Where do you go?
I go to Rainbow.
Yeah.
Around here.
Very
and then
familiar
there's
with Rainbow.
also there's a store called The Last Record Store that I frequent, and I don't know why they call themselves that because I can't imagine ever there would be a day where they would be the last record store, but I don't know. I guess they're trying to be ironic maybe because there's like in our mall, there's 3 record stores, and then in the other outdoor mall, there's another 2, and then there's like a warehouse on the other side of town. But I've been going
3,
there like,
and that's it. But go ahead.
that's all. I've been going down because I'm always trying to find something new and something fun, and nothing has grabbed me there. But I did get a cassette in the mail. I have a friend. He lives up near you over on the East Coast, and he and I will tape things off the radio, and he's lucky enough that he's within the range of a college radio station, and they play a lot of like interesting kind of like experimental music, and he'll tape shows and send them to me. And on one of these tapes was a song called The Message by this group called Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. I don't know.
I've heard of Grandmaster Flash actually on the radio.
Yeah, it was really interesting because they're just like they're talking about like the problems that they're going through at the time. Things like, I guess they have like a real street life, which I don't have, but they're talking about like getting hassled by the cops and like having, just various weird situations. And like they tie it all together with this hook where they're like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Right.
And I've never heard anything like this song.
I've heard that on the radio here too, and I love that.
Just the message, it's the name of the song, but like the messages they're sending out, it's like nothing I'd ever, because it's like I have problems like everybody, but I just tend to think about my problems. I don't ever imagine there might be different things for different people far away, and they really did a good job of just kind of giving me the idea of what it might be like to be in their situation. Very, very excellent song. I think I don't know how big of a hit it will be because sometimes people don't like to get faced with these kind of messages, but
I understand.
I think we might be hearing this one for a while.
Definitely. Did you get any other albums?
You know what? That's about it. There's some other good stuff on the cassette. There's some Africa Bambaataa, but it's all stuff I'm sure you've already heard. It's not a great period. Did you find anything fun?
I found one that I love to death and another one that I'm slowly getting into. I'm a huge Billy Joel fan.
Really?
He did an album called The Nylon Curtain. It was released on the 23rd. And I mean, a huge Billy. This puppy has like pressure, and it's got all that keyboard stuff to it, and it just sounds amazing. There's a lot of Beatles reference to this because it seems to be referencing John Lennon because he passed away in 1981, and he seems to have written in the style of the Beatles for this entire album. Plus, there's stuff about Ronald Reagan and Russia, hence the Nylon Curtain title.
Oh, now I get it. One thing I've always wondered about him is why does he have 2 first names? What?
Billy and then Joel?
Yeah, I at points I had, like I'd hear it and I would think maybe it was 2 different people, like a group with a Billy and a Joel. Is that not the case?
Well, he was actually, I think he was born, what was his real name? William Martin. No, that's it. William Martin Joel is his name.
Is it Joel?
Joel, like Noel? No, I think it's Joel.
Billy Joel?
I think he didn't want 2 syllables. So he just kept it Joel.
I would spell it Jole if it were me, but...
And that would be definitely the proper way.
It's not my name, so I guess I don't.
You might have heard on Allentown on the radio. Have you heard that?
No. How does that go?
Incredible drums. boom, boom, and a lot of.
Does he do the tongue thing?
Yeah, it sounds like I'm just really trying to beatbox lately. But it goes.
What is that?
It's sort of like.
Is that what they call it? They got that guy in the Fat Boys. That guy Buffy. He's like, I believe, the fattest one in the group. He does that.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to Dougie
They
Fresh
call that
and
beatboxing. I haven't.
Yeah, Dougie Fresh and the Slick Rick and that is
Dougie Fresh is really good at that. I thought that his music was like music, and then I discovered that it was him just farting around with his mouth. I was really
exactly, and that's what it started as, bad gas problems. But we're living here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and they're tearing all the factories down. And
I have heard that song.
It's great.
Yeah, my dad is really into that. It's kind of dad music.
Guys, great. Liberty DeVito is the drummer for that. With that.
Liberty DeVito. That sounds like a partner Captain America might have had that he tried to leave in the past. Liberty DeVito.
Yeah, his brother's on a show called Taxi.
Oh, is that right?
No.
That's the show with the small fella who's in a cage and he yells at everybody who like drives taxis, right? And one of them's like he wants to be a boxer, and one of them wants to be an actor, and there's that one who he comes from some island. Isn't that right? And he talks all weird or something, but he also did some wrestling or something. On Taxi?
I think so.
Is that the right show?
I think that's the one you're talking about with Ladka.
Latka. That's his name. The guy who he's like, meh, 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 meh. Isn't it something like that? I've only seen a little bit of it. I don't. It's on after I go to bed.
That's the one. And then my other favorite album, of course. I don't know if you know me this well. I am famous for this. Olivia Newton-John's greatest hits. I'm an Olivia Newton-John freak.
She is great.
Thank you so much for saying that.
The other day, I was walking with a friend of mine, and he's like, that song Physical? And I said, yeah, I know that song. It's about working out. And he goes, no, it's not, dummy. It's about kissing. And I'll tell you, I had no idea. I thought it was about just
really
that thing that that's what he said the song's about, like kissing and stuff.
Let's get kissing now. Oh yeah, you're right.
I thought it was about that stuff, like what do they call it that I see my aunt do, like jazzercise or whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
I thought it was about something like that because they're all wearing their headbands and their
aerobics
leotards, but I don't.
Jazzercise. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I guess it's like a double entendre or whatever they say.
Well, there's two songs on this album that were written specifically for this album, and that is Heart Attack. You're giving me a heart attack, a heart attack. And then
she's very concerned with cardiovascular fitness.
Exactly. And clotting, obviously. And tied up in your promises is the other song. Tied up in your promises, ooh, tied up in what you want to give. And I love those songs. But this whole album is great. It's got Physical, like you said, hopelessly devoted to you. You're the one I want, with John Travolta on there.
I love that. That's from that musical.
Oil.
Where they're in the 50s.
No. Lubricant.
Grease,
I
think.
That's right.
But I don't think it takes place in Greece. I think that
it's spelled
I think it's in America, but they still call it Greece. I don't know what
it could be the dancing.
A lot of things go on that I don't understand.
Suddenly, you know that song with Cliff Richard?
No, who's that?
Suddenly, the words are in motion, and I'm ready.
No.
It's almost like a Barry Gibb type of thing, and then Xanadu, it's on there.
I've seen the movie.
I love that movie.
It's okay. There's a lot of skating. It doesn't really represent my skating experiences. I'm not very good at it, but
me neither.
No,
I've tried skating without the wheels.
You have,
and it's loud.
I think that's called walking.
Oh,
no, they wouldn't let you do that on the rink. I think that you would damage the floor. I think the rink floor is like the floor at a bowling alley. It's like it's a very particular kind of wood, and they don't want you to, be rough on the surface.
Have you ever tried uniskating, where it's just one wheel?
No. Like one skate or one wheel on your skate?
One wheel on the skate.
Which one do you pick? Like the back right? I don't know what would be the.
I think it's.
You have one in the middle.
You want the ones in the especially for proportion, in the middle.
That's a good idea. Why doesn't somebody make a skate where the wheels are all in the middle, like when you ice skate? Let me write that down. That might be something to think about.
And call it what? Inline? Inline skating?
Oh, God. Middle skates, maybe, or uniskating, like you said? Because you might. I think that if I'm going to, I'm going to run with this. But I'm going to do one big wheel in the middle, like one.
That'd be good.
Large wheel, as opposed to like 3 or 4 small wheels. I think this might be something.
That'd
might be hearing
awesome.
about this in the future. Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I just hope nobody tries mugging you with like a blade while you're rolling,
in my head, you would be going so fast with this that, you'd have to be on like a moped or a Pinto to catch up. It's
the only way.
This is going to be something for sure.
Well, it's now time for...
And now we will talk about movies.
What movies you did see?
Well, I like to go to the movies. It's something I really do enjoy. It's a bit pricey. Yeah. So I want to make like an educated choice. And I'd heard a lot of people talk about this movie called Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And it's R-rated, so I wasn't able to...
You didn't sneak in?
Well, what I did was I paid to see, something else. I went to see, Beastmaster. And,
cool. What'd you think?
And, I wanted to take it all the way, so I went into Beastmaster for a while, and I got to, the movie seemed all right, but there is a lot of, like, this, it's full of shirtless men, and that's, that's okay, but...
Big, hairy, burly...
No, a lot of, like, smooth men, which is interesting, too, but a few minutes into that, I felt like, I've seen enough of this, and, I dipped out, and I got into Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but the movie had already been playing. I didn't really think about that. In my mind, all the movies started at the same time.
Right.
So, when I did get in there, I'm a little embarrassed to say it. There was a guy in the movie. He was wearing like a pirate's hat, like he worked at like a fish restaurant, and he was looking out the window at these girls in the swimming pool, and this girl came out and wearing like a red bikini, like this beautiful girl came out wearing a red bikini, and before I could turn away, it's like she took her top off.
What?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know that you could do that kind of things in the movies. It was...
So you saw her 8008s?
I saw them, and I'll tell you, in my mind's eye, I am seeing them now. I don't feel as if... It was magnificent. It was...
Would you put a picture of that on your fridge?
If I had one, I would definitely do that. A picture. I mean, I do have a fridge, but yes, well...
Oh, I'm just, I can't imagine.
I probably would keep it somewhere else. I have a little box under my bed where I keep stuff like that. And I'd put in there, and
stuff like that.
The rest of the movie was funny, but once I saw that,
it was
just, that was it. My mind was gone. There was some other stuff. Somebody got pizzas ordered to a class. I don't really know. There was like a football game and stuff, but overall, thumbs up.
I gotta see this, especially for the 8008s, man.
If it's if it's playing around where you are, mm-hmm. I would definitely go see it.
I just had a curiosity. Would you give the 8008s a 10?
If I could, I would give them an 11.
Nice. Because I bet your hers go up to 11. I saw the Pink Floyd The Wall movie. And, oh my gosh, this was freaky. I snuck in. It was rated R as well. But I'm a sneaker. I always sneak into these movies.
You just went right in?
I just snuck right in. What I do is they really don't check. And especially as short as I am. I mean, I'm 3'5". So I
Really?
just ducked right in there. Yeah. And just real low voice. But this was written by the vocalist and bassist Roger Waters for Pink Floyd. And it's an amazing psychologically animated mixed with live action horror musical
Are they in the movie?
film. Not really.
No.
It seems to be mostly a story of a guy who's just cutting everybody off from himself. It
So
centers,
he is building the wall.
yeah, building the wall. The guy in the film is a rocker named Floyd Pink Pinkerton, who
Pink Pinkerton?
is being, Pink Pinkerton. He's driven to insanity by the death of his father, and very depressed, very depressing. But the music,
Is it good?
before I went in, I had 5 candy cigarettes.
Really?
When I got in there, the music was just metaphorical. The imagery, the dialogue, the surreal environment, the Dolby stereo, and the cult status that establishes from this film.
So it's a cartoon,
Yeah.
but for adults?
Definitely for adults, but I got it. Bob Geldof is in it as the main character. Do you know who he is?
No, there are adults who watch cartoons?
Sometimes.
I have never heard of that. My parents do not watch cartoons.
That,
They watch the news. They watch Taxi. But no, that's interesting.
yeah, it's. I can imagine in the future that cartoons for adults is really going to take off. But
I don't see why not. I can't imagine a day where I will not want to watch cartoons. I've always wondered, like, one day do you wake up as an adult and you just go,
What
not
happened?
for me.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
for me
yeah.
anymore. No more
What's-
cartoons.
What's the purpose?
And I hope that day doesn't come.
It better not.
It might.
Do you ever hear of Michael Kamen?
No, Michael Caine?
Michael Kamen. Michael Kamen is an orchestrator, and he helped write the music with Roger Waters in this particular one. So, especially for the background, the goodies.
And now we will have a little show and tell.
Well, brother, do you want to talk about some show and tell?
Oh, show and tell. That's one of my favorite parts of school. It's like the only time that you get a chance to like individually shine. I guess, some of the brainiacs get to like raise their hand and answer questions, but it's so very seldom. Like, I'm not great at sports. I'm not a brainiac. This is the time I really feel like
Show you a piece of yourself.
I get to show a piece of myself. And, for what I brought today to show you is this Cobra Commander I got. Have you seen this one?
Whoa.
He's the leader of Cobra, and the only way you can get this figure is to send in 5 flag points off the back. I had to go and buy 5 different guys. I got Grunt, I got Flash, I got Snake Eyes, I got Lady J, and I don't remember who the other one was. It might have been the Ram Cycle, but I cut them all off and I sent them into Hasbro. They are located in Rhode Island, which is never been there. I don't even know if it's a real place, but I sent it in and I've been waiting seriously for like 16 weeks, but he just showed up yesterday and he was worth the wait. Look here. Look how his gun fits into his back.
That's
it's almost like
perfect.
it's great. He
Can I
goes
play
right
with
in
the
there.
gun?
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's good about this is I lose the guns. I'll lose it within a day or two of having them. So the way that this kind of fits in back there, it assures like I'll at least have it for.
I just
a
shot
couple
you in
weeks.
the ear.
That's not even polite. But no, this is a really great figure. I like the shade of blue. I like how he's like a lighter color than the other Cobra officers. It's like
Never
you
seen
can tell
anything
that
like this before.
you can tell he's running things.
Yeah, and I've never seen anything like this. I have Flash.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do have Flash. He's right here.
I like how his laser gun connects into his backpack. It's really a neat feature. I've always liked the Star Wars guys, but when it comes to accessories and things, they do not compare to G.I. Joe at all. And the way
Die,
Like-
Cobra Commander.
you can bend their elbows and bend their knees, this is the new wave, the future,
Oh, definitely.
I think.
Pew!
Hey, be careful.
Sorry, I get excited with these things.
Is the gun still there? Did it fall?
I'm
on the
sorry.
floor?
Let me put it back on. It fell in this. There you go.
I don't know if I should have even let you see it after you showed me that Dukes of Hazzard stuff earlier.
Can you mind if I take this out back for a second?
I would really rather you didn't. I mean,
All right. Well, here, take it. I'll show you what I got.
thanks.
I've got these stompers. I'm loving these stompers, 4x4s.
I've seen those. I have two. It's really fun.
It's awesome. I love this. Check this out. I'll put it right here on the table, and I'll turn it on. Look at that sucker go.
I can't believe how it climbs over things. That's so great.
It's so neat. You know what I like to do is not fill up the tub with water, but get into it naked. And let this guy just run all over my body.
Did you do that with that one?
Yeah, that's why it's.
And you handed it to me? Did you?
I'm sorry. Do you want a napkin?
I don't know if that'll cut it. Do you have anything? Do you have anything stronger than that?
Here, just use my shirt. There you go.
The problem with that is the shirt is just as dirty as the stomper. That shirt's been
That's why
all over you all day.
That's all right. You'll be fine.
Let's hope.
Do you want to discuss video games?
And now it's time for the video game of the month.
Sure, that's I'm not as big a video gamer as your pal Ferguson, but I do get down a little bit, especially since they've put that Aladdin's Castle in. Well, I got this new game this month that I've been playing a lot. It's based off the movie E.T. and the game itself is also called E.T. It is
love that.
So much fun. I've never played a game that was based off a movie, and having seen the movie so recently too, it's like I really feel like I'm in it. It's great, and you're not in the game. I would have expected that you would be Elliot, but you are, in fact, E.T., and you drop Reese's Pieces around, and you pick them up, and there's, like, secret agents chasing you while you're trying to, like, put your phone back together so that you can phone home. This game is so great. The controls are great. It's like you make the littlest move, and E.T. responds. If you ask me, and I'm not an expert,
right.
This is going to go down as one of the best games of all time, I think.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Fantastic. I've never played anything that was as lifelike as this, and at the same time, it's tied into E.T., which I think is going to go down as the greatest movie of all time. So,
I have to agree, especially when you have a neck that can extend that far. And I do have a little E.T. doll, as a matter of fact. Again,
do you?
Same bathtub, same water scenario. I like to have it.
You spend a lot of time in the bathtub. I don't like. I go in as seldom as I can. I don't.
Well, you have to use your imagination.
Mm-hmm. I try to,
and that's why.
But I don't want to use it if you're talking about yourself in the bathtub. That's not.
Oh, okay. Well, no. So I guess I can put this away then.
Well, I mean, I do want to see it.
Here, hold it.
But
don't mind the smell.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me put my hand inside my sleeve first. Why is it still wet?
It's been in the tub.
It's like it's a plush though. I would have thought it would have dried by now.
It was a couple days ago. It takes a while. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Guess what? You survived an 80 to 89.
For real?
Yeah, you did it.
What do you know?
And I want to thank you very, very, very much, Brian, for showing up for this episode. It means a lot to me.
Well, I am happy to be here.
And I am too.
Yeah.
I want to let every one of you listening to know that I thank you for listening, and I thank you for your support and picking up these cassettes locally and abroad, getting them mailed to you. And do remember that you can find these down at the drug fairs and the darts, People's Drugs on Main Streets, and your local library. We're also trying to get them incorporated into the school systems at some colleges.
You think that will happen? Because I don't.
No, but we're trying. That's the thing. The Highs, the Holly Farms restaurants, McDonald's is offered for me to put a box out there as long as they get 90% of the income, which there is none. They're free tapes. So I hope this shines a little bit of light here on life in the 80s. Is there any place close to where you live where you'll have these cassettes?
Well, once I get them, and I realize there's quite a process involved with the copying, especially
Yeah.
the amount that you're doing. It's like you gotta do one at a time. I don't know if you've heard of these high-speed dubbing decks, but
That's
a friend
what I
of
have.
mine. Oh, do you already have
Yeah,
one?
I have one of those already, but I'll be
They're
asking
like
you
twice
to-
as fast, but
Yeah.
I'm going to try to once I get them, I'll probably take them to the Last Record Store. Like I mentioned, they have a place where people can leave stuff. Maybe Long's Drugs or Thrifty Drugs. They have like an ice cream thing, and I figure
Nice.
a lot of people go there, so I might try to. Basically, I'm just going to stash them around town and probably stick a few in some people's mailboxes. Don't worry,
I appreciate it.
I'll get them around.
That'd be great.
I got a new Huffy, and it's really increased my range around the neighborhood. So I should be able to get to some places for you. Rainbow Records, the warehouse, maybe the comic book store. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. Because, spreading the word about life here in the 80s is what's important. And we will definitely continue to do these journals month to month as time goes on with all of the news and the entertainment that I can find. We look forward definitely to talking to you guys again. I hope that you can come back again sometime and help me out with another month. That would be great. Thank you.
I'm here.
And we'll see you next month. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you guys later.
Bye.
It's been real.
All of Zurbinator's music and podcasts are under the Creative Commons license, which allows retelling and rebroadcasting as long as the author is notified and credited. For more great escape pods, please visit www.zurbinator.wordpress.com. If you would like to contact Zurbinatorland, you can send an email to instrumentally@gmail.com or give us a call at 571-408-ZERB or 9372.
No, Michael Caine?
Michael came in. He's an
He
orchestrator.
came in what? Sorry.
Not going there. Well, we found our outtake for this particular episode right there.
Oh, thanks.